All right, everybody, if I could have your attention real quick. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday to come and celebrate our 10th anniversary. So thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. We are live streaming now. Hello to our folks watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Who couldn't make it, couldn't be here with us today, but I so appreciate everyone who has, like I said, taken the time to come out and share your joy with us and just be here to help us celebrate our 10th anniversary. It has been, wow, what a journey. I can remember sitting with Harley many years ago, and if you've been in here, you saw him playing in the video with Helen. That was this room about 2 weeks before we opened. And it was kind of eye-opening for me to see Helen run and play like she was. That's 10 years ago. She's now 14 and a half. And still has that same joy, a little bit less mobility, but she's still got that same joy. And I think that's something all of y'all can relate to as far as, how our dogs change and what we go through and how we work with them. So I thought today I would take some time to just, I hope you don't mind, I like to tell stories, especially stories about dogs that have really touched my soul. And I think we did a count, and that's been about 3,500 to 4,000 over 10 years. So yeah. So a few of those I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today, but I think there are quite a few folks in the room that don't really know the origin story and how we started. This is a second career for me. I spent 15 years in publishing, which I loved, and believe it or not, actually did end up coming in handy a little later. But when the universe gives you not only one, but two pink slips and says, you didn't get it the first time, you really need to do it this time. That's kind of where this started. I thought I wanted to be a dog trainer, and sorry, Crystal, wherever you are in the room, but I just couldn't handle the psychology in that. There was a whole lot of working with people. I love all you guys, don't get me wrong. But being a canine massage therapist was so much more my speed. So that's really where this started. And that was really 16 years ago, because I was mobile for 5 or 6 years before we opened here. So, just learning how to listen with my hands and listen to what the dogs were really, really telling me, and really being able to block out everything else was just amazing for me. And it's been something that I've loved and has really helped me be able to make connections with all of your dogs. So started out as a canine massage therapist. During my training for that, our instructor had a dog who had a TPLO, which is a knee surgery, go wrong, horribly wrong. And she took us to her integrative vet appointment. And the woman said, "Oh, you need to go talk to the folks at Orthopets." And I was in Denver at the time. And that started the Orthopets relationship. 6 months later, I was their Arizona rep and haven't looked back since. We moved on to add carts, wheelchairs, but I knew I wanted a pool. And you can't have a pool unless you can do it inside. So I spent a long time looking for exactly the right place, and this was the one. I had looked at it once, and thankfully I waited because the price went down $2 a square foot. But yeah, so that was a really good find. So we've been here ever since. We signed the lease in June of 2014. And took 6 months. I think you saw some of the pictures. They were pretty crazy. This wall wasn't here. There were some interesting drawings on the wall. I don't even talk about what we found in other places. But yeah, a lot of cleaning, a lot of scrubbing, a lot of work, a lot of architects. And yeah, so we opened up on January 11th of 2015. And you are You all are sitting in my dream. So thank you for making a reality. That is super important. Our at our first open house, the pool room was a mess. It was dusty. It was dirty. There was a hole in it. We had the windows papered over, but you've always got someone that's got to open the door and look in, and they're all disappointed. I'm like, well, that's why the door's shut. But you can look anywhere today. But if you look in any of the closets, careful, something might fall out on you. So our first swim was scheduled in July 10th of 2015. And one of our first swimmers was a dog named Grayson. And Grayson swims with us weekly now. She has some mobility challenges. She doesn't jump off the side anymore. She needs some help getting up the ramp. She needs some help getting in the water, getting out. But man, she loves her swimming. So it's amazing to me and quite frankly, very heartwarming of how many dogs we have seen, how many second and third dogs in a family have come back to see us. And I can't thank you enough for your trust in that regard. We started out as recreation and mobility, right? We had open swimmers. We had splash guards up on the pool, so half the water didn't go out when someone jumped off the side. And if there was something good to come out of COVID, that was our opportunity to try just doing mobility. And we did it. Not only did we did it, we thrived. So I could finally really focus on what my passion was. And that's helping those dogs that need a little bit more help. And it's helping the pet parents that need a little bit more help. Because we all know, everybody in this room knows that it's not just the dog that's going on this journey. You guys are on it together. Thank you for allowing us to be part of that journey. That is something that I do not take lightly. My crew does not take lightly. We appreciate your trust in us. So let's talk. Let's actually celebrate a little bit of that journey, and let's talk about a couple of dogs. More recently, probably in the last, I guess it's been 4 years. My sense of time since COVID is like gone. It could have been, last month, and it was really 12 years ago. But Colby and Luke were huskies that were surrendered to pack. They had somehow found their way into walking through 20-year-old toilet cleaner. And if you know toilet cleaner, it is an acid. They ended up burning all 8 of their paws. They ended up losing parts of paws. But those guys, talk about not going to stop. If anybody has ever had a husky or been around a husky, there is no off switch until they're exhausted. We were able to work with Pima Animal Care and Friends of Pack, and both of those dogs are thriving now. Colby has not 1, not 2, but 4 prosthetics that he literally runs around this room. We love to see that in him. Luke was a little bit pickier. He decided of the 4, he would wear 1, but that's okay. Because we gave him some special boots up front, those he approved of. They were not Jimmy Choo's, but he was like, okay. And he has a cart. So now when he wants to go for a walk, he takes off. The minute that leash clips on the back, he is out of there. It's like he's practicing his sled dog. So those two are 2 that really have touched us a lot. Another one that I can think of right now, and it has been, we just lost him about 6 weeks ago. His name was Rhodey. That's actually Rhodey right there. Rhodey and Mike went through a mobility journey that lasted about 18 months. Mike came to see us. Rhodey was walking in. He was a little unsteady in the back. And he was kind of knuckling, walking on the back of his paws. And I said, he's not quite ready for a cart yet, but, it's coming. And it's probably coming soon. Rhodey had a degenerative condition in his spine. And Mike's about 35. He's an easygoing guy. He's a really outdoorsy kind of dude. He's like, oh yeah, that's not going to happen. 3 weeks later, hey Kate, he's tripping all over the place. All right, bring him in. So we got him hooked up in the cart. And the thing you need to know about Mike is that Mike is not just an outdoorsy guy, but he likes to go on 5, 6, 7, 8 day camping trips, and he camps out of the back of his truck. So how is he going to do that with Rhodey? Well, we figured it out. So now he, let's see, a year ago, he left on a cross country journey. He literally drove 25,000 miles, backpacking across the East, the West, with Rhodey in tow. He had a mattress in the back of his truck, and they slept out in the wilderness. And this is Rhodey in his wheelchair. I've got so many pictures of him on this on his journeys. The other thing that really complicated this is Rhodey was urinary fecal incontinent, which means he couldn't. Yeah, exactly. He couldn't control pee and poop. But you know what? Mike figured it out. You know, he would call me and say, "Hey, you know what am I going to do about this?" We worked on it. That was exactly how he talked to you. What are we going to do about this? We're going to work it out. We're going to figure it out, and we did. So it's moments like those where you have someone that is completely, just like everyone in this room, they are all about, how do I take care of my dog? How do I make this work? And being able to offer that advice, and to be able to have, you know, my crew be able to step in and say, oh yeah, what if we did it this way? I mean, Nicky built his boots. Rhodey had these great boots that when he couldn't move his legs and he didn't want his legs up in his cart, we built boots that rolled. They had wheels on them too. So he was literally four-wheeling when they would go out and do these things. So if nothing more, we have to be creative. You know, we all have to be MacGyver. Some are a little more MacGyver than others, Nicky, but we do it. But I think one thing that everybody has in common is that we've all had situations where we have to overcome. You know, you reach that point where, can I bend over one more time to help my dog get up off the floor? And you do it, right? You do it, but it starts to wear you down. But you get that one spark, right? Has everybody experienced that? You get that one spark from your dog where you're like, yeah, okay, we can do this. You know, we can do it. I see the spark in your eye. You want to be part of this family. You want to keep going. We're going to keep doing it. We've had some long-term clients that have been with us. Blueberry is one that we talk about. Blueberry is a very sweet blue healer who was about 17. Blueberry, if she didn't have bad luck with her health, she didn't have any luck at all. She had CCL tears on both of her knees. She had spinal surgery. She was the victim of a pretty vicious dog attack at 15. But you know what? We worked. Jennifer worked with her, stuck with her. Blueberry had, she did not suffer fools lightly. Let's put it that way. She was a healer. How many of you have healers? Yeah, okay, you know what I'm talking about. So we thought, oh, she's never going to get in the water. You know, I don't know that I want to get in and get something bitten. I'm knock on wood. Got a pretty good string going of not having any puncture wounds. But we tried it, and she loved it. Every week, Blue would come in and swim back and forth, back and forth. Where's my cookie? I want my cookie at the end. I want my cookie. And that healer energy of just go, 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 go. And Jennifer's just commitment that all of you have experienced also with your own dogs of just staying with Blue and helping her through those more difficult pieces. You know, we've got some other dogs that are still with us that, like Satine. Satine is a very, another one that didn't have any luck. There weren't bad luck with her health. Valley fever. She's got some narrowing in her spine that really makes it pretty much impossible for her to use any of her limbs now. She's in a quad cart. But you know what? She keeps going and going and going. Satine we would swim with. Now her parents have done such a great job with her. They bring her in and her buddy, and they literally come into play. It's like, I just need to get my crew out of the house, so we're going to come in, you can stretch, Satine, and we're just going to play ball. It's like, great. If that's what you need, that's what we're happy to provide. I hope you don't mind the stories. They're just so important to me. They're what keeps me going. I know they're what keeps my crew going. And I'd be willing to bet that they're what keep you going as well. When you're working with your own dogs, when the time gets tough, you can look back and say, oh, I love that time when we took Helen up to the mountain and she wanted to go and run, and she was crazy, and she rode co-pilot with me for once. She never really liked to be in the car. But yeah, she would love to do that. And I've had a lot of folks during the years come up and say, thank you for all you've done for me and for my dog. And that input is so, like I said, is vital for us. And we appreciate you sharing that with us. But it's dogs like Max, who, why is it always the healers? He's got bad elbows. He had back surgery. He's had just about everything you can imagine, but he's so darn stubborn that he just wants to keep it going, and just keep moving. But I can't do all of these things by myself. When I first started, I did everything. I was bottle washer in charge, right? But that doesn't happen now without my crew. So I'd just like to take a couple of minutes to recognize them, if I could. I think y'all know Nikki. Yay! All right. So Nikki Fromm, she's a mobility specialist, and in particular, my cart specialist. I have pretty much just, if I put together a cart now, I have to go look at directions because she's gotten so good with it. She does a lot of the adjustments, the building, the fitting. We have some smaller carts that I like to call Tinker Toys that fit dogs under 10 pounds, and those are a disaster. It really is like Lincoln Logs putting those things together. But she's done a fantastic job of mastering that. She's also taken over all of the adjustments for all of our devices, so the Orthopets devices at all, doing all the adjustments on those. She's certainly been focused on learning a lot more about working with different types of injuries and diseases. So there's some continuing education, and at the end of the day, she's my hands when my hands don't work. So I appreciate you, and I love everything you do, and I love what great care you take of our people and their dogs. Thank you. Then basically our adult in residence and also our client and vet relationship manager, that would be, yeah, you're like, who's that? Since Kim Dion, she's the friendly face that you see when you walk in. So Kim's the one that gets me all the information that we need to know. She talks to your vet, she gets your records, she talks to you, gets all of your information. She tries to take a picture every time someone comes in. That's a little shaky on that, but she coordinates every single step of your visit when you're in here. What I do and what Nikki do, we couldn't do without Kim smoothing the road for us. She also has the important task of managing the information flow of when a dog passes. So she is the reason why I can put together the celebration of life at this event every year. I could not do that without you. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate how you welcome everyone and make everybody feel amazing. Thank you. Our other
other employee is Catherine Mokler. Catherine went home to Iowa for the holidays, and her parents gave her the great present of influenza. So she's not with us today, but hi, Catherine. We love you. We miss you. And I know you sounded better on your voicemail, but no, you didn't get to come today. So thank you for not turning this into a super spreader event. But I want to take a second to talk about the growth that Catherine has exhibited over the last year. Catherine, I think everybody but Nikki was a client first. So Kim was a client with Annie through Tucson Cold Wet Noses. And Catherine was a client through Brooke. That is her dog on the wall there. Brooke was an amazing teacher for all of us, but I think especially Catherine. She learned quite a bit, and I feel like she's able to, her compassion and her knowledge and her real understanding of what our clients are going through and how difficult it is to manage a mobility challenge dog really comes through. She's taken this entire year learning how to swim with dogs, not just be in the water with them, but helping them get the most out of that time in the water. And she has done an amazing job. She is the reason that I have been able to step back from swimming as much as I was. I was starting to get really pretty. But she has opened up opportunities because she has stepped up and taken on a majority of swimming that's happening now, and she's doing a great job. How many folks do we have here that Catherine had swum with her dogs? Yeah, she does. She does amazing work, and she's been able to create relationships with some really hard to reach dogs. We have a dog from Pack that no one could touch. Couldn't even get her in the door sometimes. And there was one day where I was late, shocker, late getting into the pool room, and Catherine just said, we're just going to take her right back up. We're just going to take her up and go. And I was 3 minutes late, just 3 minutes late, and Catherine's already in the water with her. And learning to trust, the dog swam probably 6 laps that day. Now, if you look in the hallway on your way out, you'll see a big Roddy with a stuffed duck in his mouth, and that's the dog that she has helped get from emotional point A to emotional point B, where the dog now looks forward to coming seeing us, and is doing really well physically and emotionally. So, Catherine, I hope you're listening out there, because you've been a really important piece of helping us thrive and grow this year. So thank you. Okay. Got 2 other people. Dr. Rademacher had to leave. Dr. Sally Rademacher is our veterinary advisor. So whenever I have a vet question, like, should I really be touching a dog who may have rabies? Yeah, no. When everyone's telling you that it's okay, yeah. So she's my go-to person. So I appreciate her work with us. She'll be doing some talks with us this year. We'll get to that in a second. And then finally, Dr. Maureen McCoggan, who is standing guard over the film there. Maureen is our online course development director, so she'll be doing more with the Canine Mobility Resource Center later in the year. So stay tuned for that. And frankly, she's kind of my science editor that says, yeah, no, you can't say that. You need to figure that out, but it isn't what you just said. And she kind of keeps my online vision between the bumpers. So I have 2 things now that we're kind of into, we're talking about the future now. So where are we going to go from here? So I have 2 exciting things to announce today. Number 1 is I'm going to take we already are, taking our vision for storytelling. And I am working on a 3rd book with a co-author, Dr. Liz Devitt.
And a lot of it is we have taken Rhodey's story and we're using it as a frame to really help people understand quality of life, understand how to work with and manage dogs with mobility challenges, and enjoy the process rather than fighting it. So we're hoping that book will be out probably the end of Q3. So the fall of this year is our goal. So that is coming. She's also doing a 60-second documentary, which is a thing apparently. I don't know that, but it is a thing. She's doing a 60-second documentary on Rhodey as well. So that will be coming out soon. The second exciting thing I have to announce is that we at A Loyal Companion have launched the A Loyal Companion Foundation. So we are recognized by the state as a nonprofit, and we have filed our paperwork to be a 501c3. So through that foundation, I'll read you our mission, is to improve access to pet services like daycare, boarding, grooming, and for mobility challenged pets, as well as to support financially pet parents who are in need, to provide mobility solutions to their dogs. So we've already started some activities on that. Last year I spoke at the FLOW conference, which is Daycare Boarding National Organization, presenting a paper on from a business standpoint, why it makes sense that boarders and boarding and daycare, y'all might want to look at taking care of these dogs because there are quite a few of them. And frankly, we need you. So we'll continue that message. I am going to Montana. Thank you very much, Beth. We're going to Montana to spread the word about that. And I'll be doing 2 talks up there. One will be to a group of veterinarians about mobility equipment and solutions and how to use it with their patients. Because believe it or not, that is a big question. You don't learn a lot about that in vet school at all. Do you learn any in vet school? No. Okay. This is our vet students here. So introducing the options. It's not just, oh yeah, you might as well euthanize. You're not going to be able to take care of this dog. You know what? You can. So let's get the information out to them. And I'll also be doing a talk at a Humane Society event in Montana while we're up there. This year is going to be, I've tried to frame this as a year of returning and getting back together. This is our first open house since January of 2020. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really happy to be back in person. I will say it's like 5 times the work in person, but it's so worth it to be able to see all your faces here. So we are, our goal is to have a seminar or event or a gathering every month through the year of 2025. And we started today with our open house. February 2nd, I'm proud to announce that we are hosting Dr. Lisa Schubitz from the Center for Excellence, Valley Fever Center for Excellence. So I'm very excited to host her on February 2nd. You'll be getting information about that soon. March, we're going to be doing the Pets of Pima Parade, and I have a very important announcement. We will not be the last team. Yeah, right? We will not be the last team to go through. I will. Yet nobody. We were fast last year. We had to wait. So our goal, last year we raised $14,100. So our goal this year is we're shooting for 15. And we've been doing this, $10, $20, $50 at a time. So we have a lot of folks on our team, and I would love for you to come out and walk with us. Like I said, I have put my foot down as being, our team has been the top fundraiser for 3 years. We are not going to be the cute thing at the end. We are going to be up front. So there won't be a 3-hour wait to walk 20 minutes. So I promise. You have my word. And then April, I'll be doing a seminar on traveling with your mobility challenge pet. So what do you need to have with you? How to use dog ramps, things like that. May is National Specially Abled Pets Day. We have planned an event in a local park where we can have some games, go hang out. It's a little similar to what we're doing here. Kathy, you up for making cookies again? Okay. All right. So there'll be dog cookies. So that's a good reason to be here. And then in June, we will have a park ranger from the Western National Parks is going to come and talk about hiking with your mobility challenged dog. So yeah, so we have those are set up, and then the rest of the year we're looking at we're going to do a seminar on canine cognitive dysfunction, and I'm going to partner with a local artist. Her name's Jen Ortman, and she's going to be teaching us how to draw your own dogs. We'll be doing some fun art events. It's funny, I have absolutely no artistic talent, but I like to do arts events. Who knows? We'll do some group walks and a lot more. So that's what we have on the schedule. And so I guess it's the one thing I want to that I want to say, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear on, is that I so appreciate every single one of you sitting in this room, whether you're a client, one of my crew, my friends and clients, my wife. I want you to know my in-laws, Jim and Linda. I just want to say, thank you, and that I appreciate everything that you have done and the trust that you have put in me. And today certainly wouldn't have happened without my beautiful wife, Kathy. Thank you for not just amazing cookies and treats, but a lot of them. Chief taste tester, can you tell? But just all your support and everything you've done for me. Where's Peggy? Is Peggy still here? Peggy Mitchell, thank you so much for being a wonderful friend and providing those Bosa donuts. Thank you so much. The thing about Peggy has been a client and friend of mine for, I think I met you in 2013, 2012. Yeah, she's one of our founding members. Peg has become a very good friend. In fact, she hosted my wedding. So Peg has been an amazing part of my family for a very long time. So thank you for your love and support. Jim and Linda, thank you guys for being so kind and good roommates. Sort of, yeah. We love you anyway. But yeah, that doesn't happen. And of course, my staff for being here. So thank you so much for everything. I think that brings us to yeah, we'll do this a little bit early. If you do not want to stay for the celebration of life video, this is the time for you to step out. And we have tissue boxes everywhere if you want to grab those. It's never very easy for this one, but so one thing I did want to tell you is kind of grab your tissues. In fact, you know what? Let's take a little break. We'll come back at about 12:15, okay? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be great. I would love that. Belong to a program, and it's a place where Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, awesome. Thank you. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay, awesome.
That's kind of this it's a Facebook page and that's what they are. And yeah, they, yeah. That's me. Oh, that's excited. Okay, yeah. Oh, I know you're gonna. Yeah. He is a frosty face.
Very profitable.
Sugar face. Frosty face. We're so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the other.
Oh, yeah.
She. I didn't know she was here.
You ever seen her work?
No. I will look at right. Yeah.
Really can't make it fun for you there.
Feature finding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Looks different. But she lost weight.
Based on some of her work.
No. Oh, I'm like,
All right.
Oh. Okay. Run interference. Did you